Swadee ka. Thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand, FM 88, and on NBT World. It's a Thursday, and the date is January 8th, and you're with me, Sandra Hanutsaha. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, children are to always seek more knowledge, show gratitude to their benefactors, and apply technology positively to drive the nation forward, according to the Prime Minister. The Minister of Education, Admiral Narong Pipathanasai, brought a group of 779 notable youths and those who have contributed to the nation to meet Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha at the Government House in Bangkok ahead of the National Children's Day. The Prime Minister congratulated the youth and children who have received awards. He said the awards could be considered the pride of their families, while asking the youth to constantly seek new knowledge, be diligent, economical, and respect their parents. He pointed out that the national development should begin with the development of human resources, along with morals and ethics, complying with the motto of this year's National Children's Day, knowledge and morality lead to a brighter future. Everyone should have the social responsibility to brace for the upcoming changes and competition. The Prime Minister has guided the children to use social media in a constructive manner without becoming addicted, maximize their educational benefits, and find their own objective in life and plan to work towards it. He has mentioned that children should consider the careers that are still in need, such as scientists, researchers, engineers, and officials in the business sector, to accommodate the upcoming ASEAN community. The Prime Minister had convened with the youth in a friendly manner and even took pictures with the executives of the Ministry of Education and the youth at this event. Mr. Amnoy Patisay, Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Cooperatives, has presided over a briefing meeting via video conferencing with 69 provincial administrative organizations and rubber tree growing areas nationwide. The Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Cooperatives, Mr. Amnoy Patisay, disclosed after the meeting that all related units were informed of the government's policies and accepted the implementation of 5 measures to comprehensively tackle the falling rubber price to ensure the problem will be solved effectively at both the provincial and regional levels. He said the 5 measures are intended to solve the rubber production problems in each of the 69 provinces as much as possible. If any problems are beyond their capacity, the problem will be solved by the government. The first measure is the close monitoring and analysis of the rubber-producing industry. Second is the formulation of a rubber production and purchasing plan for 2015-2016 in each of the provinces. Third is a public relations plan to keep rubber farmers informed about the government's policies and ways to gain access to assistance. Fourth is to make rubber farmers understand the Rubber of Thailand bill, which will lead to the establishment of a Rubber Authority of Thailand, a central body for the comprehensive management of the rubber industry. The National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, is scheduled to open the impeachment case files of the former speakers of the House and the Senate today. The NLA's deliberation will commence today at 10 a.m. The session will begin with the National Anti-Corruption Commission, or NACC, presenting the accusations against former Senate Speaker Nikhom Vairachaphanit and former House Speaker Somsak Yethoranon on charges of power abuse for their attempts to modify the Constitution to make the Senate a fully elected chamber. Afterwards, the Assembly will open the floor for the defendants to present their rebuttals. Mr. Nikhom will be present today, while Mr. Somsak has designated his lawyer to appear on his behalf. The NLA will then reconvene in 1 week, where a 9-member committee will question the accused based on questions previously submitted by NLA members. Rubber farmers have petitioned the National Legislative Assembly to remove rubber trees from the Forest Plantation Act. National Legislative Assembly, or NLA President Phonphet Vichit-Cholachai, along with the chairman of the NLA Committee on Agriculture and Cooperatives, Danai Michuwait, accepted a petition from representatives of rubber farmers asking for the removal of rubber trees from the effects of the Forest Plantation Act BE 2535. The petitioners claimed that the inclusion of rubber trees in this law violates the rule of nature and represents a selective treatment of plant growers while making the lives of rubber farmers harder when rubber prices continue to fall. Mr. Phonphet agreed to work with related committees to look into the petition while assuring the petitioners that the NLA will always listen to the voice of the people in improving Thailand's laws and their enforcement. The National Reform Council, or NRC whip, has decided to include the deliberation of the auction of a new petroleum concession in next week's agenda. National Reform Council, or NRC whip spokesman Wanchai Sonsiri and whip Secretary General Alongkorn Polabut joined in a news conference on the council members' planned trips to meet the people of Thailand during the months of January and September. Mr. Wanchai said that the planned trips have already been arranged and coordinated with the governors and the election commissioners of all provinces that the visits will take place in. He added that the NRC is confident that the public forums across the country will help boost the awareness of the public on the reform plans of Thailand. Mr. Alongkorn said that at the NRC's meeting on January 13th, the Council will be deliberating the Energy Reform Committee's report on the opening of the 21st auction of petroleum concession by the Department of Mineral Fuels at the Ministry of Energy, which is to be considered by the Cabinet on January 15th. The Election Commissioner, or EC, decided to throw out several complaints made against alleged election misconduct by former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra during the most recent general election in February 2014. According to Election Commissioner EC Deputy Secretary General Dusadi Phonsuksawat, the EC has lifted a complaint against Ms. Yingluck's declaration of an emergency situation and her proposal of the charter amendment. The complaint was made under the argument that the actions of Ms. Yingluck violated the EC's regulation on the use of state resources. A complaint targeting Ms. Yingluck's address to the nation about the rice mortgage scheme, broadcast through TV Pool, was also lifted. The address was made after Parliament had already been dissolved. The EC was still investigating complaints about the then-ruling party having utilized the state-run NBT television channel to rally for votes, as well as complaints about the then Prime Minister rallying for votes in the North and Northeast. Thai Armed Forces Supreme Commander General Warapong Sanganet led high-ranking military officers to visit military personnel in the far south in a show of moral support. He also followed up on the progress of peace-building missions in the region throughout 2014. The Supreme Commander was welcomed by Lieutenant General Parakan Choloyut, commander of the 4th Army Area Command, before he had a briefing meeting held at the Internal Security Operations Command, or ISOC Region 4 office, located in Sidenton Military Camp in Yarang. General Warapong said before the meeting that military operations in the Deep South ran smoothly throughout last year. He wished that they were safe and successful in their jobs in order to help return happiness to the region. The Supreme Commander's visit was in accordance with the Thai Armed Forces tradition held every New Year in order to meet and greet with military personnel across the country. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, is holding an event on Children's Day at Suan Rot Phai Park aimed at boosting children's EQ. According to the BMA, the theme of the event has been designed to promote children's social skills, EQ, teamwork, courage, discipline, and family bond. The government's 12 traditional values and 10 others will be incorporated into the activities for children, which will be organized and separated into 6 areas, comprising safety, happiness, green, knowledge, opportunity, and ASEAN zones. The BMA governor will on the same day also open the administration's second museum for kids at Tung Kru district, which is intended as a Children's Day gift for Thai children. A series of earthquakes and other seismic activity in the northern region of Thailand could result in the structural failure of a dam having a huge impact on a wide area. As a result, the Royal Irrigation Department, or RID, has conducted research and most recently installed a reservoir pressure system that can also measure deep seismic vibrations.
In Thailand, earthquakes occur more frequently in the northern provinces, which face a greater seismic risk. A survey conducted by the Department of Mineral Resources has revealed that northern Thailand, consisting of Chiang Rai, Chiang Mai, Nan, Tak, Phayao, Phrae, Lamphun, Lampang, and Mae Hong Son, is situated along a fault line, which places it at risk of earthquakes. The possible devastating effect of an earthquake on dams and reservoirs has caused the RID to allocate budget to establish a real-time reservoir pressure system instrument in the Real-Time Technical Center. This instrument can not only monitor a reservoir's water level, but also accurately measure the deep seismic vibration produced by earthquakes.
This is the cross-section of Mangat Dam. We install the electric piezometer in this section. We can measure the pore water pressure that when the earthquake occurs, this dam responds by the pore pressure, and we can calculate and estimate that our dam is safety.
Mr. Chatchai Phet Akson, as the head of the Design Group, Division of Engineering and Management of Regional Irrigation Office 1, revealed that the Real-Time Technical Center located at Regional Irrigation Office 1 is the first place ever equipped with advanced instrument technology in order to monitor reservoir water pressure. He cited an effective previous detection on May 5, 2014 at Mangat Dam in Mae Tang District, Chiang Mai, when the sensor recorded changes in the reservoir's pressure that indicated a minor earthquake had occurred in the province. The water pressure caused by this seismic vibration had no effect on the dam's structure.
This system is suitable for RID for northern region of Thailand, because in the north we have a lot of fault zone. We ensure that this dam can resist about 0.247, but when the earthquake occurs, it affects only about 2%.
Since a number of the seismic vibrations which have occurred in the area of northern Thailand have been as little as 2%, dams constructed by RID engineers can withstand them. We can give an assurance that there will be no dam failures to cause any disaster affecting people's life. NBT World reporting.
And locals in the northern region have been making preparations ahead of the period of volatile weather conditions expected to commence today and last until Sunday. In Chiang Rai, locals in Tan Tong sub-district of Pan District were seen reinforcing their homes with wooden pillars ahead of the expected storms, gusts, and hailstorms, given many of the homes in the sub-district suffered significant damage from hail last year. Meanwhile, locals in Bandu sub-district of Mueang District were collecting blankets and clothing and sealing them in unused garbage bags as a precautionary measure in case they were to evacuate their homes. Wealthy locals have already reinforced their roofs with metal sheets or put up a metal roof in place of ceramic tiles altogether. Last year, around 200 homes in the sub-district were pummeled by hail, and consequently, the inhabitants were left without shelter. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. It's time for a quick break, but first, here's a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 9th core value, being conscious and mindful of actions in line with His Majesty the King's royal statements.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough. We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Faithful Buddhists are invited to donate to the building of a huge Buddha statue known as Praputta Metta. It's to be constructed at Tepratown Temple, Soidao, Jantaburi. With a 20,000 baht donation, the donor's name will be engraved on the foundations of the statue. Those wishing to contribute may make their donations at the Royal Thai Embassy or at the Consulate General in each country, 7-Eleven convenience stores and stores with counter service signs, Krung Thai Bank, Siam Commercial Bank, or Bangkok Bank. Please contact the phone numbers shown for more details.
Welcome back to Newsline. In our ASEAN and Beyond news, Indonesian police yesterday said they have so far identified 24 out of the 40 bodies retrieved from the Java Sea, while AirAsia has started to give out initial compensation. Flight QZ8501 vanished from radar screens over the northern Java Sea on December 28th, less than halfway into a 2-hour flight from Indonesia's second biggest city of Surabaya to Singapore. There were no survivors among the 162 people on board. Indonesia AirAsia, 49% owned by Malaysia-based AirAsia Budget Group, has started to give out initial compensation to the affected families. Indonesia AirAsia said the $24,000 will be given to the kin of the tragedy's victims. The search team found the tail of the crashed AirAsia on the seabed about 30 kilometers from the plane's last known location, a breakthrough that investigators hope will lead to the crucial black box recorders. And elsewhere in the world, 3 suspects are being pursued after the shooting yesterday at the Paris offices of satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo, which left 12 dead. Hooded gunmen stormed the Paris offices of a weekly satirical magazine renowned for lampooning radical Islam, killing at least 12 people, including 2 police officers in the worst militant attack on French soil in recent decades. One of the men was captured on video shouting Allah as 4 shots rang out. 2 assailants are then seen calmly leaving the scene and remain at large. Police are staging a huge manhunt for the 3 attackers, who are now confirmed to be French nationals, including 2 brothers from the Paris region. These men are identified as Saeed Kouachi, born in 1980, Sharif Kouachi, born in 1982, and Hamid Murad, born in 1996. About 800 soldiers were brought in to shore up security across the capital. One of the suspects, Sharif Kouachi, was charged with criminal association related to a terrorist enterprise in 2005 after he had been arrested before leaving for Iraq to join Islamist militants. According to French media, he was sentenced to 18 months in prison in 2008. The magazine Charlie Hebdo, or Charlie Weekly, is renowned for courting controversy with satirical attacks on political and religious leaders and has published numerous cartoons lampooning the Prophet Muhammad. The last tweet on its account mocked Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the leader of the militant Islamic State, which has taken control of large swathes of Iraq and Syria. There was no claim of responsibility. However, a witness quoted by 20 Minutes Daily newspaper said one of the assailants cried out before getting into his car, "Tell the media that it is Al-Qaeda in Yemen." And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing in NNT, and you can check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. And just a quick announcement, NBT World will be hosting a news reading contest this Saturday, January 10th, which coincides with the National Children's Day. Children ages 8 to 15 are invited to join the competition, and the winner will receive prize money of 3,000 baht and a certificate. The contest is going to be held at the National Broadcasting Services of Thailand, or NBT, located on Vipawadi Rangsit Road, and registration is from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. We hope to see you here. We're going to say goodbye with some beautiful footage of a unique natural attraction, Red Lotus Sea in Udon Thani Province. I'm Sandra Hanuut Saha. Have a wonderful day. Sawadee ka.